First and foremost, I would like to give thanks to our Almighty Lord for giving us this wonderful day in our lives as Rotarians. And secondly, I would like to greet also the past governors of the District 3790, our incumbent governor, Jess Sama, and of course our incoming governor, the person of Willie Zarate. I would like to extend also my greetings to all the current club presidents and the president-elect, as well as all the Rotarians of 3790. Today, or this afternoon, my task is to discuss about the Rotary citations. And before doing so, I would like to emphasize that this Rotary citation is, of course, a citation or a recognition of all the accomplishment of every club, noting into consideration that this is a reward given not only to the president, but this is an award. It is a recognition of your accomplishment or your accomplishment during the year of your administration. So this is a team effort. Your president cannot achieve or cannot be cited with this Rotary citation without the participation of all the club members. So therefore, this is a team effort. So what is a Rotary citation? A Rotary citation is your roadmap in the Rotary year. What do you mean by a roadmap in the Rotary year? That is like you are just only preparing a study, a feasibility study of what you are going to do for the incoming year of Rotary. Which means that you will be listing all the goals that you would like to achieve during the year so that you can have the excellence in the service in your community, in the service of humanity, and above all, the service to our Almighty Lord. It is always be our guidance in every work that we do in the Rotary, which is about service above self. So to start with, what are the requirements or the criteria in order that you may qualify for this presidential citation? Of course, the first basic requirement to qualify is that your club should have been in outstanding status, meaning you have no obligations in your dues or any obligations of your club during during the current year, which might be on a semestral, which will start on mid-January, and the second semester will be on mid-July. So that means that you don't have any obligation of any amount in order that your club will have to qualify under these citations. And to dig further, these goals in the Rotary citations is a digestion of what is our area of focus in the Rotary. Speaking of the area of focus, we have 7 areas of focus. And this is being digested into several goals. And this is now our guide in the performance as your roadmap in the achieving or to qualify with the Rotary Club citation as mandated by Rotary International. So on our part, in our district, our district administration has designed that there will be an independent body, an independent committee to oversee or monitor the performance or the achievement of every club, which will deal with the several goals. The Rotary International for year 21-22 has formulated 25 goals in that particular in our particular year 21-22. However, these 25 goals are not to be imposed upon every club. The minimum requirement here is that for every club in order to qualify for a presidential citation is that they should have at least achieved more than 50% out of these 25 goals, which means that 12 plus 1 is equal to 13. And 13 goals is already more than 50% of the prescribed goals. So therefore, the minimum requirement that the club should have to achieve is only around 13. So out of this 25, I am going to mention to you one by one what are these 25 goals. So firstly, to achieve this citation, you should have to go to the Rotary Club Central and review the 25 goals, select at least 13 goals, achieve these goals, report achievements in the Rotary Club Central. So this is just like a pattern of making a report. You have your projection. Your projection is the 35 goals out of 25. And for every period of your Rotary year, you will have to check which goals has already been achieved. So that is just presenting a table on how you are going to achieve these goals. And number one of these goals is about your club membership. So what is the requirement on the club membership? The goal for club membership says that you will have to determine the total members that your club want to be in the end of the Rotary year. So you have to project how many members at the end of the year. Suppose you have 30 members during the current year. So you will have to make or set a goal on how many members at the end of that Rotary year. Supposing you are going to project a 10% increase, so that means at the end of the year, you have 33 members or an increase of 3 members. So that is one of the requirements. That is the first requirement, which is the club membership. That is the increase on club membership. So by that, you have already achieved one goal. That is, you have to increase your membership. But the requirement only here is that only one member increase is already a qualification to meet this club membership. But for us, for you, you should have, perhaps I may advise you to at least project at least 10% increase in your membership. So second goals is all about service participation. So what do you mean by service participation? This service participation is in regard to your club service project. So in a specific time or period during the year, you have your projected project, and of course your projected project might even be more than 5 or even 10 project. But this project should not only be attended by your president or your officers. So you should have to project, you should have to determine the numbers that your club members or your Rotary or Rotarians in the club will have to join in this project. So make again another projection. Let's say you have 30 members in the club. You project how many projects that you are going to undertake, and you are going to determine the participation of every Rotarians in your club to join the service project. So that is the second goal of our presidential citation. Next is the new member sponsorship. So what is the new member sponsorship? This means that you have to determine the number of members that will sponsor a new club member during the Rotary year. So you have to determine also the number of sponsors. Supposing you have 3 members, new 3 members. So who are the sponsors of these true recruits in the club. So determine also who are the sponsors, because this will be one of the credits on the part of your club by sponsoring a new member by your Rotarians, the current Rotarians. Next is your membership. Fourth is the membership in the Rotary Action Group participation. So how many club members will be members of at least one Rotarian group? It says that at least one of your Rotarian must be a member of Rotarian Action Group for the Rotary year. And the fifth one is the leadership development participation. So, speaking of leadership development participation, this is again one of the goals that will be set in during the Rotary year. That is to determine how many club members will participate in leadership development program or activities during the year. One, especially we, the Rotarians, we are developing ourselves to be the leaders not only in the Rotary, but we are expected to do our share, our leadership, not also in the community. So we will have our obligation, we are responsible to develop ourselves as a leader. Next is the district conference attendance. So there are several district activities in our district. So you are also have to determine also the district events that you as the club president, the officers as well as the Rotarians or the members of the Rotary will have to attend in the district conference. So that is also one of the goals set by the Rotary International. The next is the Rotary Fellowship participation. How many club members will be of the Rotary Fellowship during the Rotary year? So that is again another goal, that is setting the number of club members that will join the Rotary Fellowship during the year. Next is the district training participation. How many of your club's committee chairs will attend the district assembly? So this is in regard to your participation in the district training participation. So usually the attendance here must have been joined by the committee chairmans on the different area of focus. You should have to encourage these directors to join you, not only you as a president or your vice president or your secretary who will join this district conference attendance. All of you, especially the directors, should have to join this district conference, and that is one goal set by the Rotary International. Next is your annual fund contribution. So we are also mandated to share our contribution to the annual foundation fund. This is also being required to not only to the president but as well as to other Rotarians in our clubs. Next is the polio plus contribution. So one of the main projects of the Rotary International is the eradication of polio, not only in a chosen community, but the Rotary International is a main contributor with some of its members or stakeholders who are contributing also to the Rotary Foundation. And on our part, as a member of the Rotary Club, should have also make a share with this polio plus fund. That is our contribution. Right now, I think there was a projection that every member should have to contribute at least $20 to this polio plan fund contribution. Then next is the major gifts. So how many single outright donations of $10,000 or more will be made available by individuals associated with your club during the year. So this is a contribution. It is a contribution by an individual person, not only by a Rotarian, but of course an initiation by any Rotary member, that any stakeholder or any interested person will donate at least $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation. Next is the Bequest Society members. So what is a Bequest Society members? How many individuals or couple were informed the Rotary Foundation of their plans to give 10,000 or more to the Rotary Foundation through their estate? So this is now in reference to the bequest of the property, meaning if there is somebody in our Rotary, a family of Rotary or friends, and that they will be leaving an inheritance or an estate, and out of that bequest property, they might choose to share or contribute with the Rotary Club, and they will be properly be recognized. And this is one of the goals set by the Rotary International in setting up your goals or to initiate a contribution from any descendant or an estate property to be contributed to the Rotary Foundation. Next is benefactors. So benefactors means these are also some individuals or a corporate that will also contribute to the Rotary Foundation. It might be an individuals or a couples, or it might even be on my part. It may even include some corporate entity that may even contribute to the foundations, or to give at least 10,000 or more to the Rotary Foundation through their estate plans to include the endowment plan as well as the beneficiary, or will make an outright gift of 1,000 or more on the endowment plan. Next is the service project. The service project is one of the most difficult things that to be accomplished by a certain club, because the service project, as I observed in our club, this involves a lot of funds. You have to formulate your projection, your sources, your connections on how to develop a project, because you cannot make any project without the budget. So before doing so, the service project, as a new or an incoming officer or new administration, in the formulation of this service project as mandated in our area of focus, we will have to make a plans based on the budget. So you work for the budget ahead before you are going to issue. You have to make your connections, who are your contributors, who will share on the project, and that is the time that you could formulate your valuable projects in the community. But of course, during my term as a past president, this can easily be achieved, at least if you have the leadership. You lead by example, you start doing so that all the others can continue, can share with you the resources to join the service project. And of course, next is the Rotary clubs. How many new and existing Rotary clubs will your club sponsor during the year? So this is a creation of your Rotary clubs. Do you already have a Rotary club in your Rotary, in your club? If not, this is also one of the points that will be considered as one of the goals of 25 goals in the Rotary. The center also with the Interact clubs, the same criteria that you will have to do, the same objective, the same manner as you are going to create in your club. You create a Rotary club composed of youth members who will be even become the future Rotary members of your club. This Rotaract and Enter Club are also very important in every club because these are I think that these are one of your contributors in your project because Rotaract and Enter Clubs are the most reliable individuals. They can exercise, they can easily be physically present in the service project, especially in the community project. Next is the inbound youth exchange students at the same time and outbound youth exchange students. Inbounds meaning hosting of an incoming foreigner to your club. And an outbound youth exchange students, these are the students coming from our club, coming from our country, going out of the country or entering other clubs outside of the Philippines. But of course, during this time, during the pandemic, it seems that we cannot realize this is the adorable goals right now because of some restrictions in this pandemic status. So you might not consider yet these goals. It is the inbound and the outbound youth exchange students. Next is your RILA participation. How many individuals will your club sponsor to participate in your Rotary Leadership Award events during the Rotary year? So speaking of this RILA participation, this is a participation by any of the Rotaract or Interact members. So what the club will do, or any members of the club, is to make a sponsorship of these members to join these RILA events. This is the Rotary Leadership Award. And every year, in a Rotary year, there is this Rotary events to develop the leadership of every members of the Rotaract as well as the Interact to develop themselves as a future leader, not only in their youth, but as a future leaders of the Rotary Club. Next goal is the strategic plan. Each your club has these strategic plans. It is an up-to-date strategic plan. What is all about this strategic plan? By the word itself, strategic plans means it is a plan designed by your club not only on the current year. Kung sinabi natin strategic plan, it is a plan by your club ahead of your current year. It is a projection. It is a plan that may only not cover 1 year. You may even formulate a strategic plan for a medium plan, which might be of 5 years strategic plan. So this will involve not only the current administration, but this strategic plan will have to be planned, or you may even create an independent or a separate committee that will make a strategic plan for at least a minimum of 5 years on what is the future. Ano ang mangyayari sa iyong Rotary Club for the next 5 years. So this is what we call an strategic plan, encompassing all your actions based on the service or area, not only the service, but the 7 area of focus. Your strategic plan should be patterned with the 7 area of focus, so that you have a continuing program, not only on the current year. Because if you are going to make a plan for only 1 year,
there might be no continuity of the plan being designed on the first year. So I now encourage each club to make a strategic plan. That is by creation of a certain committee to oversee, to develop this strategic plan for every club in the district. Next is the online presence. What do we mean by online presence? Does your club has an online presence accurately reflect its current activities? Meaning, when we say online presence, this is your presence. This is your attendance, not only physically, but it is your attendance. It is your contribution. It is your share, a share of time, of your effort, even without your physical presence in any activities, in the regular, in the special session, club activities. So this is one of the goals in the Rotary citation. That is, you have to contribute yourself in an online presence, most especially during this time of pandemic. Using your cell phone, using your laptop, or using your gadget, or using any electronic gadget to share with you your inputs, your presence in your club. Next is the update, website, and social media. So this is in reference against to the presence, the contributions. That is, during the Rotary here, you have to determine how many times per month will your club website or social media accounts be updated. I have observed that many of the clubs, many club of the members has upgraded their website. Nagkakaroon po they are making a communication by way of chatting each other, delivering a message, delivering any information to all the members within the club by means of this website. So, wala po tayo masyadong hirap dito because this has been observed right now by every member of the Rotary in our club. Next is the major stories about club project. How many major stories will cover your club project during the year? So again, when we say club project, this pertains to your accomplishment of project. How are these being disseminated? Before you are going to undertake a project, you should have to disseminate this with your members that this is a project that will be undertaken during the month or to a certain period. And then, you have to report also to each and every member of what is the accomplishment. What are the contributions? What have you accomplished during the year or during that period of your project? And next is the use of Rotary promotional materials. Did your club use Rotary International advertising and public service materials such as broadcast videos, print ads, and other official materials available in Brand Center to promote Rotary in your community during Rotary year? So this is now one of the goals that will give you the idea on how you are going to inform not only the Rotary International, but you can also make use of some other materials available in your club, in our district. We have our print media, we also have our broadcast media, or you can even use your community media, either by print or by radio or by television, covering that project that you have undertaken. So, with that regard, so as your chairman for the presidential citation. I pay for your indulgence, and of course, I would like to make some apology if there are some shortcut or you might have been not satisfied for my presentation, considering that this is only my 4th year in the Rotary. I still consider myself as a neophyte in the district officers. So, but of course, I would like to thank our incoming governor for giving me this opportunity to share with you the inputs as well as the goals, the citation, and instructions in order to qualify for the Rotary Presidential Citation Award given by the Rotary International. But lastly, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be with me to deliver my presentations. And thank you, and God bless us all.